Few people ever repeat the same mistakes over and over again. One would say mistakes are simply the experiences that help us learn. And that would be true in most cases, except if you're on the internet. More specifically, in the VTuber community, where individuals get to recycle themselves through cycles of death and reincarnations into new personas like it's a freaking Buddhist cycle. If you've been a fan of this channel, you've seen this cycle repeat itself through multiple shady individuals that we've covered. And this is the case with the VTuber we will be covering in this video. Funny thing is, these individuals almost always exclusively end up outing themselves because they just cannot help themselves by causing drama. And when they do, they inadvertently open a Pandora's box they can no longer close, because once you put something out there in the internet, it starts taking a mind of its own and it inadvertently becomes its own monster. This is the insane story of how ChaChaChilla exposed herself because she simply could not keep her mouth shut. But first, because trust me, this ride will require fuel, a quick message from today's sponsor. I am now officially partnered with GamerSupps. They make the best sugar-free energy drinks, they taste great, no crash, and it actually makes you feel good. Right now you can get 10% off using my code CLOP on anything you love. Your favorite VTuber waifu cup, their energy formula, the caffeine-free version if you can't handle the jitters, or their sleep aid formula if you're an insomniac like me. That stuff has generally helped me snooze better at night, so I can crash out all over again the next day. And if you just want to try it first, click the link in the description below for free samples. They have no shipping charge, no credit cards, nothing, just completely free, and they ship worldwide. Use code CLOP to support the channel, and now back to the video. To understand how everything escalated, we have to start at the beginning. This entire situation actually started when ChaChaChilla tried to expose an agency VTuber called Adfree, a member of Sock's VTuber agency, for what she believed was an ableist comment. I tried to talk to Flork about one of his talents having a habit of calling people inferior and how that can seem to disable people. However, he blocked me and said not to bring up my personal issues with his talents. I believe calling somebody inferior is the meaning, as it's historically used context. Adfree VT called us that. If you support Sock's VTuber agency, aka SVA, this is what you're supporting. Okay, so after that tweet, things were already getting kind of messy. And of course, that's exactly when Flork, the owner of Sock's VTuber agency, decided to step in and reply to her himself. Yes, I did snap at you in DMs because you were told not to contact me anymore prior to this. Lucia's team investigated the first piece of evidence you showed them regarding Adfree, and it was not even them speaking. Their team there gave you the statement on what was happening. It was roleplay in a Minecraft faction roleplay, and I will wholeheartedly back my talent that they did no wrong, especially in a 4-second out of context clip you originally showed.
Treating guys.
They're wild.
Guys, they're like,
gotta give them a
yeah,
pass.
what's
Their
happening with that?
brains are a little smaller.
Dude, that's gonna oh my god, hard.
Was never a wilder. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's true. I never.
And then he adds, you also stated here other people do it, so why focus on me/SVA? Was it before I told you not to message me any longer as of early October? Then Florix pointed out why he even stayed up that late in the first place. He basically says he only did it because he knew she was going to try to drop something while he was asleep. And he even shows the screenshot where she straight up asked him if he's usually up at that hour, almost as if she was trying to plan this while he was sleeping. So yeah, he kind of sussed her out, he saw it coming, stayed awake for it, and sure enough, she did post it super late like he expected. Listen, we knew you were going to fucking do this because you did this shit before to other people. I knew you were going to drop this late. Maybe you thought I'd be asleep so you could get an edge on me. I specifically stayed up because we knew you were going to do this. I don't know why the focus on me is so hard, especially if your problem was ad-free. I don't want anything to do with you. You said that was your last post. Okay, I just want to add one more bit of context. She knew I do not stay up late and chose to drop it when I wasn't around. And then he shows the screenshots proving this. But things don't just stop here. One of his talents, Yomi Queenly, then steps up and answers his tweet. Oh hey, it's the person who kept following me around all of Offkai after I told them to stop and I had to warrant security over her. The person who was overstepping my boundaries and touching my arm in comfort over and over when I told them not to touch me, and spoke at me like I was less than them, saying I was so brave for going to Offkai as a trans person rather than talking to me like a normal person. You don't get to play the victim when you've hurt and disrespected so many people, and many know about your PL and the terrible things you've done there too. All I can do is wish you find the help you need. Step away from the internet, find professional help, and breathe. Maybe the world will be brighter for you one day where you don't find a need to validate your existence by trying to bring down others. Then HR-chan, another indie VTuber, also steps in to confirm Yomi's story. But the thing about stories like this is, once one voice comes forward, others always follow. And that's when Apollo, a corpo VTuber from Mito's agency, steps in with not one, but 2 tweets of her own. Girl, sit down. You literally blackmailed me last year. I can't even go to cons normally because of you. Let me give you more context. ChaChaChilla TTV, aka Bunny Elisu. I was nice, respectful, and tried to be a friend at the time. I wanted you to get help. You harassed me and my friends and so many others for years. You have doxed IRL faces / names, bullied, spread lies, and got blacklisted from Mythos for a good reason. I gave them a 10+ page document. When we didn't give you what you wanted, you did revenge. Every single time I had something awesome happen to me, you got butthurt with my success early on. You shared it everywhere and people saw that side of me. You took my power, and just 2 days before TwitchCon, where I wanted to see people for the first time, my first event, I had to listen to so many people saying they are on my side and that they saw it. I didn't want to hear that I didn't want that. But you didn't stop there. You kept harassing me for months on end because I wasn't flinching in public. You had to make videos, accounts, and spreading it all over Mythos. I didn't feel safe anymore. I was so overwhelmed I couldn't even stream properly because of you. I lost a lot of things and it harmed me. Suddenly, her previous life had also been a nerf, and followed by those serious accusations of doxing, revenge, harassment, and bullying. And yet, this was still only the beginning of this roller coaster. Indie VTuber Miyu then steps in to clarify that she was the person in the clip and explains the context behind it. Because, that's right, the VTuber that ChaChaChilla was trying to go after, ad-free, wasn't even the one saying those things in the clip that she thought was the ableist comment in the first place. You cannot make this up. Just in case this gets turned on me because this is me in the clip shown here, I was making an ironic joke about my own character because I was the dummy in a room of smart people, as she started off as a wilder before switching to the scientist. In no way would I call anyone out of character small-brained. I'm generally sad people took things said in a fictional scenario personally. I thought we were all just having fun. Also, good luck accusing the girl with chronic illness, autoimmune disorder, history of cancer, AUDHD bitch that she's ableist, because that's truly asinine. I know you didn't care who said this, you only wanted to hurt my friends, and I won't stand for that. So, not only did ChaChaChilla know that this entire bit was done in the context of a roleplay scenario in a Minecraft collab, but the worst part is that even before going public, ChaChaChilla knew that the speaker in the clip wasn't ad-free, as she was informed via the ticket she opened to report the issue initially. So, she knew it wasn't ad-free, speaking in the clip, but she still decided to move forward with her callout post because she just really needed to pick a fight with this VTuber agency for some reason. It's like she had this weird fixation and couldn't let it go. And with the internet staring her down, she finally did the thing everyone was waiting for. She apologized. Or, well, at least attempted to. I feel so empty. I lost everything, and I really have nobody to blame but myself. I will say I genuinely thought using inferior was bad, but when everybody disagrees with you, it's time to take a step back and reevaluate. I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. I will say I saw Apollo's post and I never doxed anybody, nor did revenge. That's going too far. Please provide evidence. I'm taking a step back from the internet. I feel like I just need to delve deeper into therapy about my impulsiveness and my sadness that turns into anger. I made a very impulsive mistake last night, so this is the last time I'll have access to my phone for a while. I don't know when or if I'll be back. I'm sorry that I caused drama, and sorry to those I hurt. This is good. We like apologies. Usually, if they are heartfelt and sincere, this all could have ended right there. But of course, it didn't, or I wouldn't be making this video. Because her "I'm stepping back from the internet" break lasted exactly as long as it took her to hit tweet again. And she immediately started doubling down in the replies to the irritation of literally everyone watching. So when someone pointed out that she never actually apologized to Addie or Flork, she responded with, "I will say that I did say Yomi was brave for showing her face without a mask, but not for being trans. I can't take responsibility for things I didn't do. As for the lack of apology towards Adfree and Flork, they've told me they want nothing to do with me, and I'm respecting that." Bruh. So she's basically calling Yomi a liar and showcasing a screenshot of a conversation that happened after the con. If she was truly uncomfortable with me, she wouldn't have VIP'd me on her channel after Offkai and said it was so great meeting me. Now, for additional context, this set of DMs happened as Yomi was boarding her plane only 2 days after the con. Victims need time to process traumatizing events, and Yomi is also someone who is cordial and polite to literally everybody she meets. So it could very well be that was simply the case here. As for the VIP comment, it was confirmed that she had that information backward. She got un-VIP'd, not VIP'd. But then ChaChaChilla started getting a lot of heat online, and feeling the pressure, she decides to do what most sane people do, which is fake a hospital visit. "I'll be heading off to the hospital soon and won't have access to my phone," she tweets. It's almost comical how often these menheras resort to these tactics just to dodge accountability. I'm almost compelled to start a bingo card that we will use for all these situations from now on and see how fast we get a bingo. Worst part is that apparently this wasn't even the first time she faked going to the hospital when she couldn't face the consequences of her actions. Regardless, that tweet lit the internet on fire and got community noted almost instantly. What made it even less believable is that she kept on tweeting after saying that she wouldn't have access to her phone anymore. I swear, this woman lies so much that she can't even keep track of her own lies. She needs a lie diary. And since no one believed her, ChaChaChilla decided to post a picture of herself at the hospital. But here, she made two crucial mistakes. The first was that she posted that selfie way too fast. It didn't make any sense. Her first post saying she was heading to the hospital was at 12:36 p.m. and within 14 minutes, she was already in the hospital bed, hooked up to a heart monitor and everything. Damn. I need a number to this hospital because this is record timing. The second mistake she made was that she didn't properly hide the hair on her selfie. As you can see here, some pink strands of hairs are peeking out from under this emoji. And this clued some people in. More precisely, the people that had previously met her realized that this wasn't her at all. She never had pink hair in the first place. But then, seeing that no one was buying it, Chacha does the reasonable thing. She doesn't only double down, she triples down. Suddenly, she wasn't going to a hospital anymore, but a psych ward. And netizens were outraged by this, and with reason. Many sharing their own experiences where they had to wait literal hours for an emergency. Someone even saying that they had to wait over 2 hours when they collapsed at the hospital. Yet, she's sitting here lying about her experience because she decided to pipe up and she decided to start shit. And when people didn't believe her, she just couldn't handle it. So she pivoted straight into sympathy farming instead. It's disgusting. Illnesses and mental health aren't props for you to pull out when you need to save face. And after that, the internet went into loads of speculations to try to explain away her photo. Some thought the picture was AI generated, then somebody actually AI generated a photo which confused and muddied the conversation even more. Please don't do that, even if you hate the person. Others confirmed that her hair wasn't actually pink, but brown. Most thought that she just slapped an emoji on someone else's photo and used that instead. And as far as we know, for now, that seems to be the most conclusive theory. As Avalamps mentions here. As someone who has had multiple hospital visits recently, this is really fucked up to use someone else's photo, slap an emoji on it, and claim it is yourself. Lying about being in the hospital after getting called out for your bad behavior for sympathy points is disgusting. Another VTuber called Liz Justice responds to Avalamp's tweet to show her how ChaChaChilla under her bunny Alisu alias had admitted to baiting in the past as well. I suppose it's another scratch on our bingo card. Ava, I can back you up because because I have her admitting to baiting. Then we see Bunny Elisu writing, I did something bad a month ago, which is why I left. It didn't involve you. What did you do? I did attempt, but I did not involve you or anybody else for that matter, unless you count my mom. And I did bait. I regret it. The saddest part is that Apollo also commented on that post as well, adding that she got tangled up in that entire arc back then, and seeing those screenshots had her crying again. We can only wish her well moving forward. But then ChaCha didn't think tripling down was gonna cut it. So she decides to quadruple down instead and post a photo of a wig to claim that her brown hair was a wig and her real hair is actually pink. And then, you can't make this up, she decides to quintuple down. Somebody please take her phone away. And she does this by posting a photo of her hair with a post-it showcasing what is supposed to be the date and her name to prove that it's indeed her. Except the date that she wrote on that post-it, 119, it wasn't the date she posted the photo on, nor the previous day's date. It didn't prove anything. So she's not only a liar, but she's also stupid. Then she tries to pass this off as simply bad handwriting.
Huh?
So I ask you one more time. Does this number possibly look like an 1119 to you as ChaCha is claiming? Yeah, thought so. Her photos proceed to get dissected even further than absolutely memed on by the entire internet, with some VTubers even making their own parody of it. Had a mental health episode last night and ended up trying something stupid. Lucky for me, my fiance found me before things got really bad. I know I said some things that might have hurt people's feelings recently, but that's no reason to bully someone by sending them mean things. I know there's going to be people who accuse me of just wanting to farm sympathy points right now, but I can prove what I'm saying is true. Here's a picture I just took from the ER. Gotta admit, it was pretty good. Feeling unnerved by everyone's jabs and accusations, ChaCha then decides to tweet again. I am aware there are many allegations circulating about me. I take all of these accusations seriously, and I'm fully prepared to address each and every one of them. To ensure accuracy and transparency, I ask that anyone making a claim reply to this post with the specific dates, times, and details of the events they are referring to. Once that information is provided, I will respond to each allegations directly, thoroughly, with screenshots and evidence. If those making the accusations choose not to provide this information, I will take the refusal as a lack of willingness to prove their claims. In that case, I will be including the unverified allegations and any related conduct in upcoming legal proceedings, so the matter can be handled appropriately. And then, she has the absolute audacity to make another tweet to raise funds for her lawyer fees, linking to her stream elements, mind you. However, another user called Existential Bread responds with receipts from her Discord and exposes her for trying to damage control further in there. And let me tell you right now, it did not look good. Essentially, Bread was in her Discord server trying to help her fix the situation, like generally giving her step-by-step instructions on how to clear her name once and for all. Bread tells her, okay, take another selfie, same room, same lighting, same position, standing up, posted within 1 hour of the last one. That way it's undeniable proof that it's you. And ChaCha's like, okay, I'll do it. And then she comes back with that posted photo. And everyone is immediately confused. Why is the pink hair a different shade? Why does the posted say 119? Why is the lighting different? Why is the room different? And why are you wearing a completely different t-shirt? So ChaCha explains, well, my aunt came over earlier, so I wore a dress, then changed it into a t-shirt. And then she starts complaining that Brett keeps asking her for more and more photos. But Brett is like, I'm not asking you for more photos. You just didn't follow the very simple instructions I gave you. I'm literally trying to help you. And honestly, she's kind of right. If ChaCha had just followed the instructions, it would have been a pretty solid proof. But then ChaCha starts coming up with every excuse imaginable for why she can't take the correct photo. First, it's I can't stand for that long, I get dizzy. Then it's because of my heart condition, I'll faint if I stand too long. But like, she stood up just fine to take that previous first selfie, so why can't she stand up again for 2 seconds while she snaps the newer one? Was it a one-time miracle? Brett then starts getting suspicious, and suddenly ChaCha goes, oh my god, you don't believe me? Fine, I'll get you my tilt table test. But no one even asked her for any medical record or a tilt table test ever. All they wanted her to do was to take the goddamn selfie. After some more back and forth, ChaCha gets super defensive and starts strawmanning every every single thing Brett says. And then her audience jumps in to back her up, accusing Brett of trolling and stirring shit for even asking her to follow the instructions in the first place. ChaCha then insists that Brett is being so mean to her, and her community is like, oh my god, don't listen to them, ChaCha, we believe you. The pictures are obviously you. It's undeniable proof. Then one of them explains to Brett that ChaCha is autistic and accuses Brett of being a dick for pressuring her. Brett responds calmly that she actually understands autism perfectly well because she's autistic too. To which another one of ChaCha's community members replies, shocker. And the irony? This whole situation originally started because she accused Adfree of being ableist, if you remember properly. But now she's completely ignoring her own community member, making an actually ableist comment towards Brett. Eventually, after enough bickering, they're like, okay, fine, if you can't stand up, just take the photo sitting down, but at least do it in the same room with the same lighting, please. So she comes back with another photo. This time, the pink hair is back, and sure, she's wearing the same t-shirt, but notice one crucial detail? She's not even in a hospital room anymore. At that point, that was the final straw for Brett. After that, she was convinced ChaCha was lying, and so was I. And as these things usually go, suddenly more of ChaChaChilla's previous victims started to come out to share their own experiences with her one by one. One of them was Froggy. I had a run with ChaChaChilla in the past where she actively accused me of removing her on Discord for still being involved with the man that essayed her without any proof whatsoever. He was my previous manager that I personally spoke out about on Twitter. I warned friends and had her back completely when everything occurred. I simply removed her on Discord as she was super weird towards me and very forceful about a friendship that was non-existent, but she went fully crazy and made a Twitter call-out post. Her post is absolutely BS. She's trying to save face. She never properly apologized to me either after deleting her posts. And then she adds, as she didn't take my warning as a sign to leave me alone, I'm going to take this a step further. Making these kinds of posts about me simply removing you shows you had malicious intent when DMing friends about me. You were telling them as if this were fact. I supported you completely when everything had happened. The reasoning as to why I removed you? You only ever DM me when needing or wanting favors, and I found that distasteful. Spam DMing our mutual friends on Discord about me removing you for the reason you were connected to SA is disgusting and completely malicious. Don't bring something like this back up for traction on your socials, and please leave me alone. And Froggy includes some screenshots of ChaChaChilla saying things like, I feel like cutting somebody out of your life because they're a survivor of abuse, especially when you introduce them to said abuser, is just indecent. I think it's very unfortunate what some people will judge some people because of. Basically, she's insinuating here that because she was introduced by Froggy to her alleged SAer, she's insinuating that she's played a hand in getting SA'd, and that's just completely messed up. Froggy has the right to establish boundaries with other people and content creators. ChaChaChilla also adds, so I asked a licensed psychiatrist this, would you say that outside of extreme scenarios that it's healthy to cut somebody out of your life without any warning or justification or closure? Let's say in an example they had been friends for 6 months. Yes. The answer to that is yes, ChaCha. Anyhow, this turned into another avalanche of other people revealing things on her. Someone else adding, she rubbed me the wrong way when she didn't give me the time of day because I didn't have the numbers and she was always running towards people that had it. It was so strange because I didn't think of her as a number, I just wanted friends in the space. What in the cloud chaser is this? And because this kind of stuff always snowballs further, and also because the internet never forgets, a third past life finally surfaced. This one called Nijisanji, and naturally that one had its own mess attached to it. Paradigm Shift says as to Nijisanji that she tried to cancel me on my birthday subathon when I was being vulnerable to her privately, and she twisted my insecurities to try and scare me out of the VTubing space. She also tried to drive a wedge between me and one of my best friends while screwing them out of hundreds of dollars. Seeing you do all of this and worse to so many other people makes me fucking sick. 3 years later, you haven't changed a bit. Fuck off and never come back. And just like that, a new accusation was added to the already growing pile of misconducts ChaCha had done. Scamming. One more for the bingo card. And on top of that, now that the cats were out of the bags and that her previous identities were finally revealed, a lot more people started coming forward. Now, knowing your bunny, I got a lot to say. You stalk my friends, dox them, spread misinformation, and play victim. Not to mention back at TwitchCon Vegas, you invited yourself to a friends-only dinner with my group, mix your meds with soju, and then say my friends abandoned you. Victoria the Sun Eater then also comes out to back Juzo's story. They were nice enough to bring you back to your room despite barely any of us knowing you, and you have the audacity to once again try and make a fun event for everyone about yourself. I don't use the word parasite often, but I should use it more. Log off and seek help. And for context, since people don't realize what I'm speaking about, the person I curated was once known as Bunny Alisu. Then Victoria the Sun Eater also backs out Juzo's story. She says, I was there for that, and yes, it did happen, and spent the majority of the time in the car trying to pressure me to add her on Discord, and I told her no. I remember hearing about that. I'm so sorry you even have to deal with that, Vex. It's all good. I'm sorry you had to deal with it too, but I wanted you to know that I vouch for your statement because I was at that dinner with Zolong. Moving on to Sin City Alley, an artist who had also an unfortunate experience with fur. They write, to the piece of shit, aka ChaChaChilla TTV, FKA Bunny Alisu, remember when you harassed my fucking friend and lied about it after you deleted the evidence? Remember when you got banned from my friend's server and tried to blackmail them to be let back in? Remember when you made a fake note and emailed it to others and then came back the next day and acted like nothing happened? Remember when you trauma dumped to me about shit I couldn't give two shits about, your pathetic excuse of existence? I certainly remember. Rebranding ain't gonna save you. You've been a real scumfuck to my friends and a nuisance to me. Never come back. Oh, blackmail and fake note? That's another scratch off my bingo cards. This situation is just getting wilder and wilder every time I take a look at it, and I feel like soon we're gonna find out she's Lumi Starbun or something. Additionally, it seemed that ChaChaChilla, aka Bunny Alisu, had a tendency to love bomb people, often sending them inappropriate photos they didn't ask for, and trying to get them into one-on-one DM conversations. So really, it tracks with all the stories that have been coming out and that we've been hearing so far, and it also tracks with Sarah's story, who tweeted, nobody is entitled to another person's time. Noticing that somebody unadded on Discord nearly immediately shows a level of uncomfortable observation if you don't speak to the person. ChaChaChilla literally messaged me constantly with little to no response. It was often to promote herself and her hard work, which was strange as we had hardly spoken. It's clear that she sticks to her morals, but she's very diligent about taking offense to anything and everything and outing it. She subtweeted me immediately after she realized I unadded her. I've heard from many that she has treated them with aggressiveness in response to things she has taken offense to quite often. I don't condone the idea of threats towards anybody. I do believe that taking accountability for your action is important though. And then Valkyria also finds out that she's Bunny Alisu and tweets, oh, so this is where you've been hiding. This is the girl who crashed a dinner party a friend and I hosted back in TwitchCon Vegas. Never paid her part of the bill, irresponsibly drank with strangers during the event, to which a good handful of the group brought her back to her hotel only to then say we abandoned you because one of the men felt uncomfortable spending the night with you after he mixed your meds with alcohol. Also followed my friend group for a whole day around the event out of nowhere. Got one of their IRL phone numbers somehow to harass them in sakes of clearing your name. Spread multiple rumors about majority of my friends as well as myself. Have sent lewd photos of yourself to me with zero consent, to which you have since deleted. Have tried self-inviting yourself to gaming lobbies I hosted with friends. Have harassed and stalked multiple people I cared about. You have doxed my friends and sent me private messages from some of my friends out of context and trying to clear your name. I've had so many bridges burned because of you, but I will not tolerate you trying to blame your behavior on incredible people that have done nothing but to help you. I really don't like touching shit like this with a 10-feet pole, but you affected so many people I care about and can't even find it in yourself to take a crumb of accountability even after all these years. Seek professional help, grow the fuck up, and leave people the fuck alone. By the way, 2 of the people that went with her were fucking medical professionals and she still said she was abandoned. Velcro even added that they didn't want to go to a con for a long time because of this experience. But then comes the twist in the story. ChaCha finally reveals who she was planning on suing when she was raising those lawyer funds. And she tweets, "For those that wanted me to specify, I plan on taking Apollo to court and suing her for slander and defamation. She has stated many false things about me with no evidence to back these claims up." And the internet reacted exactly how you'd expect. Everyone started seriously memeing on her because here's the thing, defamation lawsuits in the US are incredibly hard to win. If you're the plaintiff, you've got to prove not only that the statement was false and caused damage, but especially if you're a public figure, you also have to show actual malice. That means the defendant knew it was false or acted with reckless disregard for whether it was true. And on top of that, you must show real harm, actual losses, not just hurt feelings. So yeah, when she threatened legal action, it raised one question. Does she even have the evidence to meet those high bars? Because if not, it's really just noise. But then Apollo jumps in with her own tweet in response. "I'm not a very strong person, but I tried to be, so excuse me if I'm more off my element this week. I did a very big thing for myself and it's a big risk, I know, but I am happy I did it. P.S. No one is gonna support your scam, ChaChaChilla, but if you do get any funds, please seek help. And then, I know you're watching my tweets, go ahead, keep sending whoever, doing whatever you think is correct, anything to get under our skin. Aren't you tired? I know why you care so much to still be going after people. Let it go and move on with your life." Then, my favorite part, Mito's management spoke up. Trey Legacy jumps in and his words are scathing. "I would love to see you try to come after my talents again. Please do, I'm begging you. I still remember you trying to do a Google Doc last year on your PL and everyone called you out for being stupid. You deleted it multiple times. We were being nice and didn't drop a doc with actual evidence from multiple people, and that was my call, and I regret that decision because you hurt so many people since then. Unlike you, I don't need help getting lawyer fees. If you want to go that route, buckle up and lock the fuck in then. It will be the last thing you do on the internet. No matter how many times you try to rebrand and start over, I will find you and call you out again. This isn't a threat. I don't make threats. I'm too nice for that stuff. I make promises." Ooh, I don't know about you guys, but when he said, "I don't make threats, I make promises," I kind of got shivers. Anyways, all of this finally brings us to Menhera apology number 2. And you'd think after all of this, the second apology would be better, right? Wrong. I want to address something important. To everyone who feels hurt by me, whether it was something I said, did, or failed to understand, I'm genuinely sorry. Hearing so many people come forward with their own stories had made me reflect deeply. Even if I don't agree with every detail or remember things the same way, I know that if multiple people are saying they were hurt, then something I did caused that pain, and I have to own that. I'm human, I'm flawed, I make mistakes, and I'm learning that intent isn't the same as impact. I don't want to run from this, and I don't want to hide behind excuses. I want to face my shortcomings and work to be better. I'm committed to growing, listening, and making sure I don't repeat the same mistakes. I know this won't fix everything overnight, and I don't expect immediate forgiveness, but I do hope I can earn trust back over time by changing, not just saying I will. Thank you for those who were honest with me, even when it was painful to hear. I'm going to do better. This is wild. There's more than twice as many likes as bookmarks on this post. And not only that, but it turns out that she wrote her freaking apology with ChatGPT. It's been 100% AI generated, which of course Chacha denies, saying that is not correct. I typed that out myself. Yes, it may be a vague apology, but I could not find every single post that people have posted about me, especially when several of them have blocked me. I think that anything that has too much correct grammar is prone to be classified as AI. Sure, Chacha. Another user even proved it was AI by running the apology through a different detection system. And yep, the video shows the exact same result. Hades, one of Apollo's genmates, also then decides to step in. I didn't want to publicly involve myself in this, but there's a 0% that you never realized you were hurting people. Back when I first met you, I thought I had found a friend. And then I learned of all the heartless, terrible behavior you inflicted on Apollo. Then you tried to use me to publicly attack Apollo because I was trying to be nice to you before learning everything. But you knowingly tried to befriend me again off the Minecraft Minecraft server, knowing I wanted nothing to do with you and that Mitos wanted nothing to do with you. You used a different voice and took advantage of the fact I couldn't recognize you to try and manipulate your way back in with Mitos, assumably to try and hurt Apollo even further. That is not behavior of someone who didn't know better, and it absolutely disgusts me. Please do not even utter Apollo's name again after everything you did to her, and please go live a life off the internet because clearly you cannot conduct yourself properly on here without hurting people. Chacha then responds, "That's not what I was doing at all. People told me you were making a Minecraft server and to talk to you about it because I had already bought one. I have not done anything to Apollo since her PL when I attempted." Oh my god, ain't no way she's bringing up her again as a defense. This is ChaChaChilla's lawyers seeing she keeps tweeting and replying to everybody like this. Apollo then claps back and reveals what she claims are Chacha's other identities. 5 in total that she allegedly cycled through between 2022 and 2025. Having that many personas in such a short amount of time is a massive red flag. Whatever apology you have to say, I will never forgive you. This wasn't a mistake, this wasn't a FLA, this wasn't you learning, this was revenge and sabotage. You had 5 lives and each one you didn't learn from. 2022 to 2025, Nia Chirize, Bani Alisu, Ame Watazagi, oh yeah, I knew that one too girl, trying to pretend to be nice to me and switching over to your Bunny account to blame me for your brain damage on my birthday, and Violet Sky VT. And now ChaChaChilla, another lesson that you haven't learned from again. You'll do whatever it takes to see people hurt, to get any clout that you think you deserve. You're rotten inside and out, you ruin lives and hurt people, you will run again just like you always do. A cycle that you can't run from. Have fun being alone. However, ChaChaChilla categorically denies being Violet Sky VT. And then the other shoe drops. Ria, another one of her victims, responds to her apology as well. As one of the people you have repeatedly hurt until I blocked you, I do not forgive you. First off, this is AI generated, so it's not even serious, so screw this BS lie. Secondly, you instantly go to victim blame us for being hurt by your actions. You ain't sorry for anything, you're only sorry you got caught. Thirdly, you have not reached out to me, Apollo, or anyone you have hurt to personally apologize to. This post is just to get the heat off of you from the angry mob, and it shows. Another pointer is you made my cancer about yourself and basically told me, but did you die? After repeatedly harassing and stalking me for months to bully me in VTuber chat about my health and making me feel bad. You eventually went so far you asked me to introduce you to a certain friend of mine, who I won't name because I want to keep him out of, to cloud farm him. When I told you to stop multiple times, you wouldn't stop. You kept going, kept throwing horrible words at my face to make me feel bad, and then make yourself a victim in the same breath. You don't even know how many times you made me cry and made me think maybe cancer should have off me, I guess, with your awful treatment of me. I don't care how sick you are. I am too, yet I don't use it as a weapon against others, or how not sorry you are. I won't forgive you. Generally stick that AI BS up your butt and leave already. You've been going on for years about this. Leave us alone and get help. I'm so tired, Chief. Needless to say, ChaChaChilla's apology was not received well by both the public and her victims. People immediately started clowning on her. So, of course, then the internet did what it does best. The full Sherlock Holmes speedrun. And netizens started digging up old clips of her and Violet Sky VT to compare the voices and see if Chacha was lying once again.
BTW, very cute. Thank you. I tried to be cute at all times, because if I don't be cute, then according to God, I have to die.
You know what I hate? I hate how lightly English speakers use the term love. Because love is such a deep and passionate feeling, and you feel it toward those you really have affection and care towards.
And honestly, the voices sound quite similar. Not identical, it kind of feels like she's forcing a higher squeaky pitch in one of them. Plus, they're not talking in the same tone or context, so it's hard to be definitive on this. So I'm sitting here like, I mean, maybe it could be, I don't know.
You think they actually love you. You think that they're your friend or your loved one or whatever. And then they leave your ass because you got too deep with them. You told them too much. You were secretly not really a perfect person they thought you were. How dare you? So they leave.
Okay, well, when she's posting videos titled like that, I'm kind of sort of leaning towards Yeah, that's her. And finally, if all of this wasn't chaotic enough, another creator named Alara received a message that tied this whole saga together. She received an anonymous tip with a screenshot of Bunny Alisu bragging that she'll get Alara to cover her, and basically insinuates that she'll take her side since she's friends with her. Please tell me how you failed to understand this. This is intentional and full of malice. I was not your friend. You just constantly bothered me to get on tea time episodes. How dare you try to weaponize me against someone else? This is not what I stand for, and it's certainly not what my news coverage represents either. I am not a mouthpiece for your agenda of hate against others, and I won't stand for even an insinuation that I can or will be used in that way. But things kept on escalating further when Kibi stepped in, sharing what happened during ChaCha's Bunny Alisu days. I need to say something because I found out that you're the same person who messed up with me and my close friends. You're not sorry. You've messed with so many people I care about, and you've caused so much hurt in the past. Generally, get help this time. Stop falsely saying you will and actually do something for once with your life. I'm sick and tired of you creating rebrands, tricking some of us by using fake alter ego voices, and starting shit over and over again. Get off the internet for a good amount of time and seek a certified mental health professional. You ruined a very special moment for me when I got raided by Camilla by making it about you when you pushed yourself on my stream after the GGD collab, essentially lying we were good friends to take advantage of Camilla's raiders' kindness so you could get free followers and subscriptions, which you didn't end up getting through your constant self-promoting while I was super overwhelmed. You shit-talked so much of the community to the point you tried coming to me with it, where I shut you down because you tried shit-talking my friends so you stopped talking to me altogether. You disgustingly have doxed people that I'm mutuals with. You committed some actual heinous crimes if those allegations are also true. This isn't just about social drama, this is about you needing to actually self-reflect and either become a better version of yourself as an adult woman should, or continue to be blacklisted as well as reported to the authorities for the deeds you've done. Get help, Bunny. I mean it. No bullshitting around anymore. We're both autistic, but you're not a 12-year-old just learning her first social cue lesson. And she attaches some very telling screenshots where Bunny Alisu is DMing this person saying, yeah, fair, but I've tried ignoring this, but it didn't go away, I dunno. And this is why talking about situations like these actually matters. Most of the time, each victim only has one piece of the puzzle, just their slice of the story. But with constant rebrands, people like ChaChaChilla get to cover their tracks and start fresh every time. When they finally get outed publicly, it becomes one of the only ways for everyone to compare notes, connect the dots, and realize just how much harm has been done. It lets all of those scattered pieces finally come together. And when netizens thought this situation was finally over and done with, ChaChaChilla came out with another Google Doc, impetuously titled Coming Forth. Her doc starts by apologizing for ad-free and Flork, saying she took things way too far with them. You don't say. ChaCha then writes that in early May 2023, she was going through an intense period of depression, and on May 6th, she made another S-side attempt. She claims that during this time, she tried to reach out to Apollo, whom she was close with at the time, by sending her a S-side note. And after surviving the attempt, she panicked and tried to have the email deleted by reaching out to her partner. Both Apollo and her partner initially showed her support. However, according to ChaCha, one day later, when she tried to join their Discord server to hang out, she was blocked by Apollo, her partner, and two mutual friends. Since ChaCha says she had only shared her attempt with Apollo, the insinuation here is that Apollo told the others that she had faked her S-side for attention. Then she says what is arguably the craziest sentence: I want to be clear, I did reach out from 2 alternate accounts. This was not meant to harass anybody. I was overwhelmed, confused, and trying to understand what had happened and why somebody I had trusted had cut contact with no explanation. I did not mean to harass anybody is crazy. She then blames her autism for misinterpreting the signs. Well, at least that checks out on our bingo card. But she later confirms that she began hearing rumors that she had faked an S-side attempt, which she claims led her to attempt S-side again on May 9th. This time she says she almost succeeded and required hospitalization, including medical care and time in a psych ward. She also claims she experienced temporary hypoxia-related speech issues and add that she has a hospital records to confirm this, but then she doesn't show any. Over a year later, ChaCha becomes aware of allegations that were still being made about her, specifically claims that she had plotted revenge porn and doxed Apollo. She clarifies that she had never leaked anyone's personal information, legal name, or address, nor did she ever send explicit photos. After some digging, it appears that ChaChaChilla's actions toward Apollo were far more invasive and malicious than what was publicly known. As early as February, Apollo's debut month, ChaChaChilla allegedly doxed both Apollo's past identity and her genmate, with the harassment continuing for the rest of the year. In a particularly disturbing incident just days before TwitchCon, ChaChaChilla reportedly leaked explicit, not safe for work content from Apollo directly onto Apollo's own Discord server. This happened right as Apollo had been preparing to show her face publicly at the event, and ChaChaChilla also sent these images to random people in Apollo's community, claiming to be her #1 fan, and uploaded them to random websites without consent, a clear violation of privacy intended to intimidate and humiliate her. It's further alleged that she used fake alt accounts to repeatedly tag and harass Apollo online, and even attempted to collect more of her personal information. Early in their interaction, Apollo had commissioned ChaChaChilla and, at the time, had shown her face privately to her mod team, something ChaChaChilla had access to. The two had known each other for a few months, and this commission turned out to be a major point of regret for Apollo. Apollo has stated that she was always mentally prepared for the possibility that her real name and face could be leaked if ChaChaChilla was ever pushed far enough. The only reason it may not have happened, she believes, is because ChaChaChilla simply forgot. But even without that final act, Apollo must have been living in fear and constant vigilance, knowing that this violation could happen at any moment from someone she once trusted, no less. But ChaChaChilla remains adamant that she's innocent throughout her doc, claiming that these accusations have damaged her reputation and led her to being blacklisted from opportunities. However, as we'll see later on in her document, the truth is something much more different and darker. She then explains how she tried to clarify the situation with the VTuber agency Apollo was involved with, Mythos. But what this actually means is that she tried to get Apollo fired from the agency over this situation, just like she previously attempted with Sock's VTuber agency. In this case, she was told that the screenshot evidence she provided was fake and was even threatened with legal action by Mythos. And her proof of Apollo slandering her? A single screenshot of Apollo talking to another VTuber, warning her about Bunny Elisu. In that message, Apollo tells her to be careful because Bunny is a liar and very manipulative, and that she lied about attempting. However, plot twist, shortly after her document was released, haters went to Twitter to reveal that the name censored in that screenshot was hers, and that this was a completely doctored and fake screenshot. Which does explain why ChaCha spends a large portion of the document showing screenshots between her and Trey, who we've mentioned earlier in the video, where they go back and forth arguing about a method for deleting screenshots. Basically, ChaCha had reported to Mythos that Apollo was telling people not to hang out with her and was actively blacklisting her. Mythos ends up checking Hades and Apollo's discords, finds nothing, and then comes back to tell ChaCha that the screenshot she mentioned doesn't exist and accuses her of making it up. You guys can pause the screen to read the screenshots here. I'm not gonna read all of them, but the gist of it is, it's just Trey and her debating whether the screenshots are fake or not, with her threatening to release a Google Doc and Trey telling her he has a way of recovering the deleted messages. Personally, I think he's kind of trolling her here with some fake extension just to get her to give up on the whole obsession that she has on Apollo, but that's just my assumption. The other screenshots she posts as evidence are just her telling one of her friends about the situation, and the same doctor screenshot she's been parroting around. What makes it worse is that her friend is clearly trying to talk her down the entire time, telling her this is a terrible idea and that she seriously needs to let it go and please stop. So it's really odd that she chose to keep those screenshots and include them in the Google document. Honestly, I'm pretty sure these screenshots just make her look even worse. Then she shows screenshots of a mutual friend of Apollo and her who was told by her mods incriminating things about her. But when you actually read the screenshots, you realize there's literally no connection between these mods and Apollo. The messages are from a mutual friend of Apollo, not a mod. The mod in question isn't even part of this conversation. And to make it even more clear, the friend takes the time to reassure ChaCha that she's still her friend, and even explains that it was her own mod's decision to kick ChaCha from the server, not Apollo's, because other people had come forward with reports of ChaCha doing bad things. And then the document just ends abruptly after the set of screenshots. It makes no sense. The fact that someone thought this was solid evidence is astounding. But then again, this is coming from the girl who tried to prove her hospital photo was real by writing the wrong dates on a post-it. And what comes next is where things seriously start to cross the line from drama into obsession. And I'm not exaggerating when I use the word obsession here. Apollo is someone ChaChaChilla has been heavily hyperfixated on for literal years at this point. And the clearest proof of that is the Google Doc that she released on Apollo years ago. One day, ChaCha's current doc accidentally reveals that she had already posted an older document in the past. And this is mentioned in her conversation with Trey. So I went ahead and dug up her now deleted Google Docie, and guess what? It's practically a rehash of the new one she just posted. There isn't even any new information that she added in her recently posted document. And the saddest part of it all, ChaCha was actually a successful not safe for work voice actress. She had a career, a following, and real momentum, but she threw it all away. Her reputation, her future opportunities, everything, just to keep going after Apollo in this endless, obsessive loop she refuses to let go of. Insane. And honestly, what gets me the most about this entire situation isn't even the drama, it's the pattern. Every single time someone tries to force a narrative or weaponize a call-out or rewrite what really happened, the truth eventually drags itself to the surface like a horror movie monster crawling out of the swamp. And in this case, ChaChaChilla didn't just leave breadcrumbs, she dumped the whole loaf, the recipe, and the bakery's tax records. She exposed herself more thoroughly than anyone could have ever could. One call-out turned into an identity unmasking, one lie turned into 5, and one tweet spiraled into a meltdown of defamation threats and lawsuit. So at the end of the day, you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want, but if you won't change the behavior behind the model, eventually every mask will slip. And when it does, the internet will be right there with the screenshots. And I'll be there with my bingo card completed. Bingo! And that's all I've got for today's video. If you've enjoyed the deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a future upload. Quick shout out before you go. Don't forget that I'm now an ultra rare TCG card with Rift Runner. If you want the chance to pull me or my mascot ConCon, head over to riftrunnertcg.com and use code Rima for 10% off. And if you want extra content, reactions, and unfiltered commentary, the Patreon is in the description. And if you want to hang out with the community, join the Discord at discord.gg/Rima. Thanks for watching, and for the love of God, please never fake a hospital visit for sympathy. The ER nurses are tired, and honestly, so am I. So take a breath, stay curious, and be kind, everybody. You also stated he... Then Flork points out why he had... Then Flork points out why he has even stayed up that late in the first place. And he even shows the screenshot where she straight up asks him if he's usually up at... Suddenly, her previous life had also been unnerved, followed by these serious... Suddenly, her previous life has all... I'm generally sad people took... In no way would I call anyone out of context small-brained. No, it's out of character. AUDHD bitch that she's a bleist. That AUD... As she was informed via the ticket that she... her first post saying she was at noon 30... Is that noon or is it midnight? Oh yeah. And within 14 minutes, she was already in the hospital bed, hooked up to... Her first post saying she was... And after that, the internet went into loads of speculations to try to explain away the... And after that, another VTuber... But her here... You were being nice and didn't drop a doc with... We were being nice if you want to go do the... To which, of course, ChaCha... I'm just gonna reread the entire sentence. People told me you were making a Minecraft server and to talk to you about it. Since ChaCha says she had only shared... Especially since Apollo typically prefers to keep her...